Now at 10, first responders in Newton County train for a situation they hope never happens. Plus, a disagreement over feeding the hungry just outside Joplin City Hall. And health concerns move officials to renovate a Joplin apartment building.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Newton County first responders practiced for life or death situations today, running through active threat scenarios they hope never to face in real life. This is KOAM News. I'm Dow Quick. The training exercises involved multiple agencies, including the Sheriff's Office and local fire departments. KOAM's Mitch Adams shows us how these drills prepare officers for high-stakes emergencies.
You can talk about this stuff in a classroom all you want and talk scenarios, but in reality it's putting that into practice and making sure that it actually works.
Several law enforcement and emergency response agencies, including the Newton County Sheriff and Reddings Mill Fire, participated in an active threat exercise. Active threat training gives first responders real-world experience working in a high-stakes situation.
A couple different scenarios we worked on. One was an active shooter event at a church and how our response would be, and then EMS and fire responding after that as well. And then another scenario we did where there was a criminal act of a gas leak inside the church, and which obviously is going to prompt a different response from law enforcement, fire, and EMS, and so we want to make sure we cover that as well.
The Newton County Sheriff's Office would like the public to know that these trainings keep response tactics fresh in the mind of officers and responders in case of a tragic event.
I think it's important that the community knows that we're out here training and we're preparing for that scenario that we hope we never have to face. But what we want them to know is that if we do have a scenario like this, we're prepared for that and we're going to be able to respond.
Reporting in Neosho, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The Sheriff Stewart says these exercises help evaluate current procedures and make improvements for possible real-world events. Not a bad day out there. Let's check in with meteorologist Austin Stantz for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, thanks, Dal. A bit windy out there today. Joplin Regional Airport recorded a gust at 44 miles per hour at 9:53 this morning. So that was a bit windy. We saw our high temperature today right around 50 degrees. So even though while it was windy, we were still right around average. Now with those winds, it did make it feel a little bit chilly out there as well. Now we are expecting to see some cooler temperatures tonight because we did see our temperatures drop, but there's some good news as we head into Thursday. But right now, current temperatures right around 40, feels like 37 out there. The winds have significantly calmed down out of the west now, about 5 miles per hour. But we're right around anywhere from about 10 to 12 degrees cooler than we were at this point yesterday. So it is feeling a little bit more chilly this morning, but temperatures going to hold steady in the low 30s tonight. Coming up, we're going to talk about those temperatures as they're back on the rise, but some breezy conditions look to return to the 4 states. And I'm also tracking a frigid weekend, so don't put those winter jackets away. I'll have all the details coming up.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. Volunteers with Hopeful Bites in Joplin say they're trying to serve people where they can find them, right outside Joplin City Hall. But the city says the weekly setup is creating problems, from blocking the sidewalk to disrupting access to City Hall and even the trolley stop nearby. In a letter sent to the group, the city asked Hopeful Bites to relocate to a different site, suggesting partner organizations that could host their meals.
Goal, honestly, at this point, is to find some place where we can serve these individuals indoors, because that would be a step in the right direction. Anything else doesn't accomplish anything for the people that we serve.
Until then, the group plans to continue serving meals outside of Joplin City Hall. A downtown Joplin apartment building that was once deemed unfit for habitation now has a new look. A buyer's apartment got a makeover with the purpose of making the building safer and up to date on code regulations for new tenants. The renovation was originally projected to be done this past June. The CEO of ProX Property Management says renovating the property following Joplin's regulation code turned the project into virtually a new development. Many of the issues stemmed from environmental and health concerns.
Another environmental concern here was that it had asbestos siding on the outside. So we literally ripped this thing down to nothing but the studs. If you drove past this, it was open air, framed, not enclosed on the exterior at all. The
project included new plumbing, roofing, HVAC, and the framing. Tenants in the past did not have functioning appliances, and that's another aspect that's being upgraded. A number of Southeast Kansas healthcare providers have come together to form a new coalition. Southeast Kansas Health includes Labette Health, Wilson Medical Center, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Four County Mental Health Center Incorporated, and Southeast Kansas Mental Health Center. The coalition aims to get residents the right care close to home.
The reality in the United States is individuals with a severe mental illness tend to die 25 years earlier than people without a severe mental illness, and there's a variety of reasons for that. One of those reasons is the difficulty in navigating healthcare.
Each participating organization will have a board member that will regularly discuss the vision and goals for the coalition with its fellow organizations. The SDK Humane Society is hosting a shelter potty, P-A-W-T-Y, this weekend, celebrating their extended timeline after originally there were some fears of closing this month. The director, Jasmine Kyle, says community donations and support changed everything for the struggling shelter. Operations will now continue through May of 2026, giving hundreds of animals a second chance at finding homes.
It means everything, especially for us as a no-kill animal shelter. These kids depend on us. I mean, we are the ones that work with them every single day, and it's up to us for that responsibility to make sure they have a future. So that's why we've been fighting every single day, every single hour.
Saturday's celebration honors the donors and volunteers who stepped up when the shelter needed them most. Free event runs Saturday from noon to 4 with cupcakes, shelter tours, and meet and greets with adoptable animals. Sure sign of the season rolls back into the area. Coming up, the Christmas Express pulls into Southeast Kansas. But up first, escalating tensions with Venezuela.
The U.S. ramps up its pressure campaign against Venezuela's leader with more military action. I'm Erica Brown with the latest move marking a significant escalation in tensions.
Get started today.
The U.S. military today seized a large oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. Attorney General Pam Bondi says the ship had been used to violate sanctions on oil from Venezuela and Iran. As Erica Brown reports, the president is now turning up the heat on Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, who's been accused of narco-terrorism in the U.S.
The operation began Wednesday in the early morning hours. Helicopters approached an oil tanker called the Skipper off the coast of Venezuela. Special operations forces rappelling onto the ship, seizing control. President Trump shared the news hours later.
As you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela. Large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. And other things are happening.
The mission included members of the Coast Guard and the Marines who launched from the USS Ford aircraft carrier. For months, the U.S. has been involved in strikes on alleged drug boats near the coast of Venezuela. But this is the first time the administration has gone after oil, Venezuela's main source of revenue. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world, producing around 1 million barrels a day, much of it currently under U.S. sanctions. At the White House, President Trump was asked about his plans for the oil aboard the seized tanker.
I guess so. We're going to keep the oil.
The oil tank seizure is just the latest move in a months-long pressure campaign launched by the Trump administration against Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. And while the U.S. has been targeting suspected drug boats, the president has not ruled out a Venezuelan land invasion.
We are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
At a rally in Venezuela's capital city Wednesday, Maduro demanded an end to the, quote, illegal and brutal interventionism by the U.S. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
A little later, competitors flocked to Arkansas for the 90th annual duck calling contest.
Warmer air looks to return to the 4 states. I'll let you know how far you think your area will heat up. Well, that wind was really whipping around today. Things have since calmed down, though. Let's take a look at your Skywatch storm tracker. Right now, seeing some cloud cover beginning to move into the area. And actually, if we zoom in a little bit closer, what looks to be some precipitation. But really what we're seeing here is a Virga setup where there's more moisture aloft in the atmosphere than there is at the surface. So by the time that any of that precipitation begins to make its way down, it's already evaporating before it reaches the surface area. So a lot of us not seeing any precipitation out there, even though this is what's reflecting on the radar right now. A brief quick sprinkle can't be completely ruled out, but that's really all it would just be a few raindrops. Now, taking a look outside tonight and what we can expect, 35 degrees here in Joplin is what we're going to be by midnight. Temperatures staying steady here through the overnight hours, and cloud cover has something to do with that. But the good news is as we head into your Thursday, winds are shifting back out of the south. Clouds are clearing out of the area right around 2-3 o'clock in the morning, setting up another nice Thursday. 35 degrees is what you can expect overnight tonight. We're staying cool and dry for tonight, but don't worry, some warmer air is on the way. Let's talk about why that's happening. Today, we saw that cold front pass to our south, bringing in some cool and windy conditions to the area. Well, winds shift out of the southwest, and a warm front begins to push that out of the area, returning warm air to our region, setting up some nice conditions. But it doesn't come alone. We're going to see some breezy conditions with our warm Thursday as well. But the good news is, as the winds are out of the south now, those breezy conditions are blowing warm air around, which are going to help our temperatures rise. So we're looking winds right around 15, 18 miles per hour tomorrow, gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles per hour. So your Thursday looking really nice out there, very mild for this time of year, 58 degrees, possibly even breaking into the 60s. Still a bit windy, but we'll take that, especially with how warm it's going to be tomorrow. Friday, not shaping up to be too shabby either here. Take a look. We're seeing the winds back out of the north. A weak cold front moves in. No precipitation expected here, but we're going to see a little bit of cloud cover, but temperatures going to be hovering in the mid 40s throughout most of your Friday. We're not really going to break into the 50s there, but still going to be some sunshine out there. Now here we have our jet stream. This here from west to east, really known as zonal flow, and a jet stream really helps steer storm systems. So we have our low pressure here. We notice that we start to see this dip in the jet stream, but by the time it really dips down, it's already past our region here. We really need a low pressure system to be stationed over Oklahoma, Arkansas, for us to be able to see any precipitation with that. So taking a look at the system that's going to be passing our area just to the east, while it's not going to be bringing any precipitation, it is going to be bringing some cooler temperatures, as the back edge of that low pressure system will bring in those northwesterly cooler winds. So let's take a look at what those temperatures are going to look like as we head into the weekend. By Saturday morning, we're at 27 degrees there. It's pretty chilly, but it gets even cooler as we head into Saturday night. So we're only breaking into the low 40s on Saturday. By Saturday night, we're looking at temperatures in the teens, right around 15 degrees. That means we could be feeling like we're in the single digits out there down, but temperatures recover fairly well. We're back into the 40s by Monday, and then by the middle part of the week, we're back into the 50s.
Yeah, that'll be nice to get back into the 50s after cold overnights on the weekend.
Yeah, bundle up for the weekend, but you can shed the heavier layers by next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Austin. Crawford County first graders and special education students enjoyed a holiday train ride today on the Christmas Express, sponsored by Watco and the South Kansas-Oklahoma Railroad. 2 trips departed from Pittsburgh. Passengers were greeted by Santa himself, also Mrs. Claus, Santa's elves. Organizers say this heartwarming tradition spreads holiday cheer and education to the community every year. More than 550 students took part in that train ride. Christmas magic filled the aisles at the Neosho Walmart as the Newton County Sheriff's Department brought their annual Shop with a Deputy program to local children. Each child received $100 to spend on holiday gifts, whether for themselves or for loved ones. Deputies helped the kids navigate their Christmas shopping while teaching valuable lessons about budgeting. Sheriff Matt Stewart says the holiday tradition creates special bonds between officers and the community.
Yeah, it's just a great time where we get to come and hang out with kids, get to help make their Christmas a little bit brighter. It's a great community event, and they get to know that we're there for them.
The annual Christmas program is funded entirely through private donations. Still ahead, women's basketball is putting together wins on the hard court at Pitt State. The Gorillas have built a 6-1 record on the season so far. Sports director Ryan Blake has that story and more up next in sports.
The Pitt State women's basketball team is off to another strong start this season, currently sitting at 6-1 with 3 consecutive wins over Angelo State, Central Oklahoma, and Rogers State. And throughout their first 7 games of the year, the Gorillas' young players have stepped up and adopted big roles, including guard Marin Adams, who leads the team in scoring. And with only 1 senior on the roster, Pitt State needed their youth to adapt to the college level quickly, and the veteran players, they're loving what they've seen so far.
Honestly, it makes me so entirely happy because I know that I was not ready when I came in. So seeing that they're able to come in and take on such a big role and that we're able to help them do whatever we can, be together on that, I'm appreciative, and they're working so hard, and yeah, we're so much better with them.
Another freshman leading the way is center Casey McCumber. One strength for the Gorillas this season has come on the glass rebounding. Pitt State has won the battle on the boards in 6 games this year, and McCumber, she's averaging over 10 rebounds per game, and her aggressiveness on the glass, it's translated to her teammates.
She just has a knack for getting to the ball. Her hands are like magnets, and if it's in her area, she's coming down with it. You're not going to get the rebound from her if you're in the same area as her. Like you might be in a jump ball on the floor, but you're not going to take it from her. And so just proud of her effort on the rebounding. It makes a huge difference. It gives us some energy.
We really value getting boards, especially on the offensive end, especially when our shots aren't falling as we would like them to be. Casey's been tremendous throughout the whole entire season, so we've got to continue to lift her up and, do our job as well.
She's a hard worker. We know she's going to crash, so we got to take some weight off her sometimes to help her out on the offensive boards and defensive side. Every shot is a pass off the backboard, no matter if it goes in. So just really attacking, getting those extra possessions.
The Gorillas are back in action on Saturday on the road against Fort Hays State. Tip-off at 2 p.m. in Hays. The indoor track and field season is underway with a strong showing from Pitt State at the Crimson and Gold Invitational last Saturday. And after some great starts to the year and some great performances, a pair of Gorillas earned weekly recognition. Pitt State's Drew Wilhite and Rachel Wilson have been named the MIAA Athletes of the Week. On the men's side, Wilhite, he kicked off the season with a top finish in the heptathlon with 5,192 points. And in the women's competitions, Wilson set a new meet record in high jump, clearing 5 feet and 10.5 inches en route to a first place finish. It may be the off season, but that doesn't mean we can't get excited about some baseball, as the MLB draft lottery was held on Tuesday with the Royals and Cardinals eagerly awaiting their pick. Starting with the Royals, who cashed in big, landing the 6th overall pick in this year's draft. Kansas City entered the day with the 13th best odds to land the top pick at 0.8%. And if Kansas City didn't get a lottery pick, they were set to pick 16th overall. A big win for the Royals, who recently used the 6th pick on outfielder Jack Caglione, and I think we all know who that is in this past year's draft. Kansas City additionally received a competitive balance pick where they own the 30th overall selection as well. As for the Cardinals, they weren't so lucky. St. Louis entered the day with the 8th best odds for the number 1 pick, but were awarded the 13th overall selection. Like Kansas City, the Cards did receive a competitive balance pick of their own, getting the 32nd overall selection. That's it for sports. We're back with more after the break.
Well, if it quacks like a duck, chances are it's an award-winning Arkansas teen. He has the honor of being the youngest duck call champion. As Brian Kwilecki reports, he's spent a lifetime getting his ducks in a row.
Hayes Cobb has been a duck hunter for most of his life, used to calling in the woods, but when he found out about competitive duck calling, he knew he had to give it a shot.
When I was about 11 years old, I found a video on YouTube of the World Championship, and I really loved it.
He started learning competitive calling from mentors like Jonathan Morton and 3-time world champion Lana Van Winkle.
We would give him something to do, to work on, and in a few days he would have it mastered. And where most people it may take 2 weeks to 2 months, and he would have it mastered in a couple of days.
Quick to learn, most coachable kid out of all the classes I've taught, definitely most coachable.
Hayes and Morton said duck calling competitively is different than being in the woods.
In the competition, a lot of the things you're not going to do in the woods, because you're doing the long hail calls and everything, and that's just going to, if you do that in the woods, it ain't going to work.
Judge on tone clarity, volume, flow, feed call, and just realism. Overall, painting a picture of birds, off in the distance, getting them in, leaving, calling them back, and finishing them.
That makes the winner of our 2025 90th Annual World Championship Duck Calling Contest, Mr. Hayes Kive, everybody.
Hayes has won junior and intermediate world championships. Last weekend in Stuttgart, at 15 years old, he became the youngest to win it all.
It still ain't hit me yet. I mean, I'm still just kind of in shock. I didn't think it was going to happen.
It's one of those kids I knew from the get-go that he was going to be successful at whatever he does and puts his mind to, and to see him to accomplishment so quick in his life is just amazing.
There's been a lot of praise in it, and I'm just happy. I'm just happy that I was able to do it.
Hayes said this is just another example of if there's something in life that you want to accomplish, no matter your age, put in the work and go chase it.
As our producer Ron points out, the young man found his calling. The 90th Annual World's Championship Duck Calling Contest featured 63 contestants in the main event. These callers represented 37 states with sanctioned events and regional contests. Something for everybody, huh?
It really is. If you can find your niche, why not, right?
That's right. And you'll find some other you like one way or the other this week, because we have something for everybody.
Yeah, whether you're a fall fan, a winter fan, whatever that may be, there's temperatures out there that you're going to like. We're nearing 60 degrees on Thursday, but if you like the cold, we're down to bitter cold on Saturday night and then back up as we head into next week.
All right. Thank you, and thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show at 5 a.m., and let's make it a great tomorrow.